Hi, I'm Whitney.
And I'm Taylor, and we're the Ghost Sisters.
Whoa.
It was a jazzy little intro.
It really was.
So, because Whitney is sick and cannot do things, I'm doing this week's again. So,
Yay.
yeah, we've got another location feature for you. And this one, I did the opposite way. Instead of looking at for something with crazy history, I started with the hauntings. So this one has a little bit more on it than haunting, like haunting wise. History's still fucking crazy, but this one has a little more haunting stuff in it.
Wait, that's not how you normally.
It
I feel
is
like that's the appropriate. We're the fucking ghost sisters, so I feel like
no.
looking for
Okay.
ghosts and then
So,
sisters is.
yeah, I always started the search with most haunted places in blah. And it would come up with like this is one of the most haunted places in blah blah blah. So you would assume having a title, the most haunted place in blah, it would have some hauntings. This time around I said the most haunted places in blah, and then it gave me some places, and then I went and actually looked at the like entities that they have and the types of hauntings that they have. And instead of just taking for granted that, yeah, it's got quite a bit to it. So yeah,
I
don't razz me.
I feel like we would approach this differently.
We would 100%. Yeah.
I mean, that's
So
also why we're both doing different things because we both approach things differently.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
okay, well,
This ended up the way that I've been doing this is I've just been saying most haunted location in and then insert random state here. And this time around I chose Idaho cuz I just felt like doing Idaho for some reason.
because you know.
Cuz you know, Idaho. Yeah.
And everyone in Idaho is like, fuck you.
God damn it.
And also, do we have anyone in Idaho? Like,
It doesn't break it down by state. I don't know.
oh, it's just US,
The US.
US,
Us.
and Canada and Australia. Did we get Australian listeners? Have you looked
Yes.
recently?
I have actually. Yes,
Oh,
we got Australia, we've got Nigeria, Ireland, Scotland. There's a bunch. Oi. Yes.
why? It's the only
Uh
thing that I can say in either Irish or Scottish.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are international officially. We've added the ol to it. We're not just international.
We're not international.
No,
International.
we're officially international. So
And now all of the internationals are like, and fuck this.
unsubscribe.
Oh no.
Oh no! I thought we were over the coffin.
I thought I was over it too, but apparently not.
Apparently not. That's
I
okay.
I haven't okay. Well, I was gonna say I haven't giggled a lot, but I have, but I haven't.
I was gonna say maybe you haven't giggled to this extent. Like you've not like belly laugh.
I'm so tired. I don't it's
She can't even think about it. That's how tired she is.
I've been doing this for almost a month now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So okay, like I said, this led me to Idaho, and there were a lot of places in Idaho, but one stuck out to me. And so
So
it
wait,
initially
now I'm back to like how you search things. Did you
uh
say most haunted in Idaho or you're just like most haunted in US and it was like Idaho?
no, I said most haunted in Idaho. Like last time I said most haunted in Washington.
You're so weird.
No, just because I don't necessarily know what I want to do. I just pick a state, and then whatever calls out to me, that's what I do.
Okay.
So, so if y'all have a state that you want me to do, just let me know.
Or if you guys want to get specific and pick a city,
Yeah, that's fine
you
too.
know.
So, whatever
Okay.
you guys want to do.
Interesting.
One place stood out to me, but it turns out that this one place is actually part of a much bigger area that is ultimately haunted.
Why did I
And
instantly think Hogwarts? I was like, it's
I don't
Hogwarts.
know.
Good.
It is definitely not Hogwarts. So this is the ghost town of Silver City, Idaho.
Is it an actual there's a Silver City, New Mexico. Okay. Is it an actual ghost town? Like
Yes,
there's it's just like an abandoned town.
basically, yes.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
on board.
Geographically, this is located in northwestern Owyhee County, and it is, of course, in Idaho in the United States. It's about 25 miles southwest of a town called Murphy, which is the current county seat for Owyhee County. And you can only access it via a winding dirt road that
That
takes like an hour to get through.
no.
Yeah.
Why can't it just be like it is a winding dirt road that's like two turns and you're there? Like
No.
why does everything have to be like 15-hour car ride and like Whitney's dying of motion sickness? Like
I was
why
gonna
can't we just like poof, we're there? If you guys figured out how to teleport and no one is saying anything, I'm fucking pissed because you know what that does for us people who suffer with our brains not understanding that we're moving. Um, uh, teleportation would be great.
I said two lines and you're so triggered.
We talked the other day about like VR becoming like
The
a
norm,
legit like the
like,
norm,
yeah.
like a legit thing. And then like we've got self-driving cars and shit. And I'm just I might as well die.
Did no one think of the motion sick?
No, no one thought about us. I can get those weird ass looking glasses
Hmm.
and maybe that would help me, but I don't understand how that helps with like my hearing, but it's apparently supposed to help with your sight. If no one knows what I'm talking about, they're like these weird loop-de-loop glasses and it's got like
Oh,
four circles and it's a tube and it's filled with liquid. So when you're looking, the liquid moves so that your eyes will then send to your brain that you're actually moving and then your brain will be like, "Oh, okay, we're moving." And it's supposed to help lessen
interesting.
motion sickness. um, you look like a complete dumbass when you're wearing them, but
I mean, it's very easy to identify who's motion sick.
it's
Be
true.
also very easy to bully somebody who's motion sick because you could just take their glasses away.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty easy to begin with. I mean, you could just
That's true.
shake me and I would be like, "Oh."
You could
So,
just make her think about it and she would get motion sick.
man, if I smell the exhaust from a bus, I'm gone.
Yep.
That instantly makes me motion sick.
It's one of my favorite smells.
Ugh. Anyways,
People are
back
like, what the what's wrong with Taylor?
I mean, I love the smell of like nail polish and nail salons and everything. I remember going into a Mexican restaurant with mom and dad. And dad one time he was like, "It just smells like a nail salon in here," because there was a nail salon next door. And I was like, "It smells like heaven. It
Oh
smells
my
like
god.
beans, cheese, and nail polish." And I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, uh,
Yeah. So
Idaho.
Idaho, Silver City is at an elevation of 6,168 feet. So it's pretty high up there. And its summer population is 12.
It's
Its
summer.
summer population is 12.
I summer in Idaho.
Its winter population is 1.
Oh.
1
Well,
because
is it even
Idaho.
like a person? Is it like a squirrel that they just were like, "Ah, that'll count."
No, it's one dude that's set to kind of like winterize everything, and then he stays behind with his rations. And then in the summer, when the roads open back up because weather, they all come back.
This is sounding a lot like The Shining.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
I just
It's not The Shining, but I get where you're going.
do they like take turns? I feel like that's something that
I
you
don't
should be like,
know.
Jim did it last year. It should be Greg's turn. Like, I mean, there's only 12 of you. Like,
Right.
fucking take turns, you
Yeah, I have
dick.
no idea.
God.
So,
Okay.
okay, we've gotten 4 points in now.
Okay, what else? Let's go.
History of this place, because I always do the history. Of course, this started out with a Native American presence. It was the Shoshone and the
Oh,
Bannock tribes.
Taylor, wait. Apparently, I'm really like squirrely. Burlington.
You are.
But I saw a thing the other day and I thought it was funny. I almost sent it to you, but it was like, it seems like with all of the shit that's going down in the US, it's like we're cursed or something because like we've been made on an ancient Indian burial ground. Oh, wait. That's
Wait.
literally the thing. Anyways, so
Yep.
that's continue. Sorry.
Okay. So the Shoshone and the Bannock tribes were the ones that inhabited the area for the longest time. They had a very deep knowledge of the land and the resources. They, of course, hunted game and gathered plant and gathered plant. The one
I
plant
I
they
have purse.
gathered birds. They gathered plant foods and they did fishing. They did a seasonal migration because, like I said, the weather up in Idaho is crazy. They would migrate depending on what the weather was. That took them through present day parts of Idaho or what are parts of present day Idaho, and that included the Owyhee Mountains. And of course, they had very strong traditions like spiritual ceremonies and crafting and storytelling and all that stuff. European explorers came in whenever people
Fucked
started,
everything up.
of course, yes,
Okay.
started kind of venturing into the region, that whole westward movement of the European settlers.
It was called Manifest Destiny. Get it right.
Okay, sure. I'm oddly enough, I'm not a history buff. Like,
Manifest Destiny, Taylor. Jesus Christ.
I mean, okay.
It was the movement westward. Manifest
Is
Destiny.
that was that what it was called?
Yeah.
I got a
I
PhD, you guys. Not in
not
history.
in history. I was gonna say, be very clear here.
Mm,
It's not a doctorate or like doctor
it's in rocks.
Brox.
Yeah, it's in rocks.
Now, if you
It's
want to know
actually
what
not
the
in rocks,
weather
it's
is
in
doing,
climate. Yeah. Oceans, climate, and media and weather. Okay, more squirreling. Okay. John Jacob Astor was one of
John
the big
Jacob.
people that went out there. Jingleheimer Schmidt.
His
John
name
Jacob
is my
Astor.
name too. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Whew, we're gonna make it through this. Um,
Okay.
he owned the Pacific Fur Company, and then Hudson's Bay Company established their trade routes around here, and they were a major player in the fur trade. They actually were the ones that explored and mapped much of the Pacific Northwest, so that included parts of Idaho.
Okay.
Now, a lot
Did
of
you?
the
I guess you wouldn't have. I was like, did you look into the history of the name Idaho?
uh-uh.
I just feel like that would be fascinating. But
Maybe
continue
I
with
was gonna
your
say that's not a
other
paranormal thing, but yeah.
fascinating.
we
Maybe
can
it is. The
we
Ouija
can
board
look it
named
up.
itself. Idaho could name itself too.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. So earlier European settlers were not impressed really with the region. They were like, yeah, this place is okay, but it's really rough terrain and, the location, it just wasn't very attractive. So there weren't a
Mhm.
lot of permanent settlements early on. There were a few geologic surveys that came by to see about the potential mineral wealth, and they hinted at the presence of valuable minerals, but for the most part, it really wasn't settled. Now, in
Wait.
addition, the Oregon Trail
Okay.
Did
So
you look up the name for Idaho?
I did. So Williams, did we talk about a Williams?
No.
Like just now? No? Okay, well,
No.
someone named Williams decided to go with the name Idaho, which he had been told was an Indian word meaning Gem of the Mountains.
Okay.
So I literally it's off of .idaho.gov and I'm not clicking on the link, it's just a little excerpt that came up with Google. If you guys want more than just what
Research.
I just said, click on that link, I guess. I don't
Uh-huh.
Anyways, okay, so
So
Gem of the Mountain, continue.
the yes. The Oregon Trail passed through southern Idaho, and while Silver City was not necessarily on the Oregon Trail, it still brought some like awareness to the area and that there was possibility for settling there. It
Mhm.
was really the discovery of silver and gold that brought people in. Gold was first discovered in the Owyhee region in 1863 by 29 men that were known as the Jordan Party. that
Okay.
were searching for a mine that was called, it was the mythical Blue Bucket Mine of Oregon.
Why was it mythical?
Because it likely never existed, nobody ever found it.
Huh. Okay.
Instead, these guys managed to find gold in the Owyhee region, and they each of the 29 men made 3 claims of 900 feet each in this new district, and that is ultimately where we ended up laying Silver City.
All right.
So it was named for the fact that they discovered silver on War Eagle Mountain. It's hard to say. In 1863. And then, of course, prospectors just came flooding in with it.
I thought you said they
And
found gold.
they found gold initially, and then they found silver, which ended up
Ah,
being
okay.
like really abundant. So at this point, the town starts to grow really quickly. They get up to 2,500 people. Most of them are miners. They do have 75 businesses, a general store, saloons, hotels. They even had themselves a brothel.
Doesn't that go against child labor laws? Because they're made of minors.
Hmm.
Mm.
I was wondering when a joke would be made.
Always.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they had a total of 12 ore processing mills, and they produced a significant amount of like smelted silver and gold. They had over 250 mines open between
Mm,
1863 and 1865.
damn.
They produced millions of dollars in precious metals that were extracted from these mines.
Mm.
And it was considered very modern for its time. It had a telegraph, a stage system, and an early telephone service by the 1880s. They introduced electricity by the 1890s.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So things were good for about 70 years until the ore deposits began to deplete. And
Oh,
of
no.
course, the population begins to dwindle with that.
Oh, no.
By the early 1900s, most of the miners have moved out and the businesses were starting to close.
Mm.
So it is currently considered a ghost town because, of course, there is one permanent all year round resident and then 11 people that come in for the summer only and then leave in the winter.
What do
Um,
they do in the summer? Why? What's what is the point? Like, you clearly it's taken care of. Are you
mhm,
there because of tourists?
yes.
Okay, because I was like, that's just stupid. That's
Yeah.
I'm sorry if that's your life, but it's dumb.
Yeah.
So, and then where do you go?
For the winter, I have no idea. I'm
Yeah.
sure they have houses elsewhere. Like,
Do you like I just don't feel like this is lucrative enough for you to just like winter. Like you
I
would
would,
surely do something else, right?
oh, yeah. Yeah,
You
probably.
can't just
Like,
like I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe you got like a house passed down from when y'all got electricity in 1890. Like, I don't know.
so the current owner, his name is Roger, of the place that we're going to be talking about. His name is Roger Nelson. He said that it's mostly old people. So I'm anticipating they're probably retired. And this is just kind of, they just love this place and they're just here taking care of it because that's what they want to do.
So soon it's going to be like a ghost town.
Yeah, I guess. Unless their children take over. I
And
don't know.
then and then the miners would be back.
Roger Roger and Jerry seem pretty young, so we'll talk about them in a little bit.
Okay.
So it is, as of right now, 75 of the original buildings are still standing,
Okay.
and it is only accessible to visitors during the warm winter months when the roads are actually open.
Warm winter months? That sounds incorrect.
During the warmer months, my brain
Okay.
inserted a word there.
I was like, "Do you mean, like, beginning of fall? Like, that doesn't what?"
Ugh, I need a nap.
Well,
So, needless to say, with a mining town, there is going to be quite a bit of conflict and turmoil associated with it.
mhm.
Uh, One of the first things that popped up was what was known as the Poorman Mine conflict in 1865. Uh, Basically, an outcrop of silver was discovered on War Eagle Mountain, just outside of the bounds of what was known as the Hayes and Ray claim, by a man named DC Bryan, and he decided he was going to mine it, and he named the mine Poor Man. The Hayes and Ray mine owner said that the Poorman vein was just an extension of a vein they were currently mining on their own claim, so technically they owned it, and the Poorman mine had no claim to it.
Wouldn't it all maybe I don't know, Miss Geologist. Wouldn't all of it be connected anyways? Like
I
you
mean,
like it I
no,
feel like
not
if the area is
necessarily.
rich with it, like it's all the same.
Kind of. I mean, it depends on the scale at which you're looking at it, but there are instances where certain veins of like quartz and stuff like that will pinch out and they'll just kind of disappear, and then a new vein will start someplace else. That's what they're talking about, is that
Okay.
that's still connected and hasn't pinched out yet.
Okay.
The guy that coin or owns the Poorman mine was like, "Yeah, you're probably right," but he went and rushed out to mine as much of the ore as he could. He managed to get over $500,000 in ore in just 6 days.
He ain't no poor man
He
anymore.
They actually said that he named it the poor man's mine, and it ended up making him a rich man.
Hey.
Legal action was taken by both sides, while the owners of the poor man continued to try to mine the deposits. And on September 24th of 1865, they finally exchanged gunfire as armed men came from both sides and started a conflict.
Oh shit.
The poor men defenders ended up building a log fort to defend themselves called Fort Baker, and it was built of logs with portholes and other means of defense in such cases. Basically, the second that the Hayes and Ray owners saw this, they were like, fuck that. And they went back to doing legal stuff.
Well, yeah, cuz like what time period is it? Like what's the time period for this?
1860s.
18th. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I just building like a whole stronghold for it is like, whoa.
It's extra. Yeah. That's a little
Whoa.
extra. Even for the
Uh,
time period, it's a little
yeah,
extra.
that's why I was like, wait, 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 wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Ultimately, the legal action was filed in favor of Hayes and Ray, which meant that Poorman was told to shut down and stop all mining opportunities. However, he still walked away with a large sum of money that he managed to basically take out from Hayes and Ray.
So when they shut it down, it's not like it's not shut down. Like they're still mining in it, right?
Yeah, Hayes and Ray basically just took over it, but it meant that the man, like Brian, could not continue with what he was doing. He had to hand it all over to Hayes and Ray.
Well, just get a job with Hayes and Ray. I don't
They were going to
is it,
hire him after that.
I don't know. I'm just like, go where the money is, and apparently they got the
Sure.
money now. So like, I don't
Uh-huh.
know. I
So
clearly was not alive during that time. So
you clearly wouldn't have lived very long during that
no, not at all. I would have been like, "What's the stronghold for?" Kaboom!
time. Not at
Kaboom!
all.
Kaboom. That was me getting shot.
That's legit. That's fair.
Yeah.
The next big conflict that they had was what was known as the Owyhee War. This was in 1868, and this was another conflict that erupted between two mines. However, this was on a much larger scale than the Poorman conflict, which is why it was known as a war and not just a conflict.
Well, at least they had the stronghold already in place.
No, this is
Oh,
somebody else. This is somebody totally different.
oh, it's not even like the same area. Like, okay,
I mean, it's in Silver City, but it's not the same mines. This was
just
the Golden Chariot mine and the Ida Elmore mine. They had basically decided on a neutral slice of land between the two mines, and Golden Chariot had started to kind of violate that agreement a little bit. And this led to them becoming more and more hostile to each other until eventually on March 25th, 1868, the Chariot mine forces advanced on the Elmore mine underground. So they had tunneled into this neutral space to try to basically take over their mine. Um, and they had an underground battle with guns and everything that led to two deaths. There was John C. Holgate, who was one of the owners of the Golden Chariot mine.
mm,
He was shot in the head and died instantly.
woo,
And then there was Meyer Frank, who was a worker in the Ida Elmore mine, who was fatally wounded and died a few hours later.
mm.
Uh, a man named James Howard, who was part of Ida Elmore, was seriously injured, and then both sides received, they called it slightly wounded. injuries, so
Merely a
not
flesh
really.
wound.
They were probably shot in the shoulder or something like that. Nothing crazy. Uh,
I'm sorry, but like if I got shot in the shoulder, you're gonna hear about it. I'm not gonna be
oh
like,
yeah,
oh no, it's okay. It's just in the shoulder. Like you will hear it. You will hear it all through Idaho, not just Silver City. Like,
it reminds me of whenever Mal does that thing for Inara in Firefly that he gets stabbed in the side, and he's like, he keeps telling her like, I got stabbed right here, and showing her. That's what I think of with you. I got shot right here.
but it wouldn't
So
be like peaceful or something. Like I you there you will know in grave detail that I got shot in my arm,
Jesus
in my
Christ.
shoulder.
Okay,
Like
okay.
in side of the earth, by the way. Like if that I will let you know, like back in my day when I was 25 feet under the surface of the earth, I got shot in my shoulder. Back in my day.
Okay. Back in my day. So the governor was not okay with these shenanigans. His name was Governor Ballard. He issued a proclamation on the 28th that demanded the parties disperse peacefully and submit to the proper authorities. And he even went as far as sending in the U.S. cavalry from Fort
Oh.
Boise. He was like, I'm
Oh.
fucking done with you children.
Well,
However, by the 29th, both sides came to a compromise. The hostility ceased and the armed men withdrew. And that was officially the end of the war.
again, if I get shot in the shoulder for this shit, I'm gonna be making a stink about this. It's not gonna be just like, oh well, we're gonna handshake and move on. I demand compensation. I'm just saying. I lost my shoulder.
So, very shortly after this, meaning like literally just a couple days after this, there was what was known as the Hotel Shootout. On April 1st of 1868, just a few days after the Owyhee War conflict ended, a man named Sam Lockhart was seated out in front of the stage office of the Idaho Hotel. Can't talk of the Idaho Hotel. Man named Marion Moore, Jack Fisher, and two or three others came up, and an altercation began with shots fired from both sides. Now, one source said that only one person died from this. Another source said that two people died from this. So I'm not sure which is actually true. Both
Hmm.
of them came from credible areas. So yeah, but Lockhart was said to have been wounded in the left arm, but people are also saying that he was one of the people that was killed.
Well, because he got shot in the shoulder. Come on.
Jesus Christ. um, Fisher was wounded in his thigh, and then Moore was shot in the center of his left chest, so right over his
Ugh,
heart.
ugh,
He ran about 50 yards and then fell in front of what was then called the Oriental Restaurant. He was taken in immediately and attended to, but he died the following afternoon.
damn.
So his death was mourned. It was called universally regretted, and because he was a member of the, I guess, law firm that was more in focus. So that was a big deal. Now, this next one, I happened across whenever I was going through newspaper articles of this time. And when I saw it, I was like, why is this not mentioned anywhere?
Hmm.
There is an article from Tuesday, June 1st, 1869, from the Owyhee Semi Weekly Tidal Wave, which
What?
we're in Idaho.
What?
Why do you have a paper named the Tidal Wave?
It was some guy. He was like, we let's be clever, all right? Let's figure this out. We're the semi-tidal wave in the middle of Idaho. It's also not the
Why is he
20s,
a
but
19 I was
I
gonna
don't
say,
know.
why is it a 1920 guy in the
I don't
1860s?
know. I don't
So,
know what like accent they would have.
I don't know either, actually.
Western.
All I can think of is John Wayne right now. So,
I'll tell you, Pilgrim, they'll get a kick out of the tidal wave.
Jesus Christ. The title of this article, and I, just don't at me for the name of this article title because this is literally what it says in the paper. It is "A Crazy Chinaman Killed."
Yeah. Old school journalism.
Uh, May 30th, 1869 is when this went down. A man named Charles Brown went out for a walk on Sunday afternoon and he came back to the Poorman Mine and asked what they called a young Chinaman named Yung Chuang, or they also, the same article writes it Chung. It's either Choeng or Cheong. They spell it differently, both like twice in the same article.
Ah.
He asks Chung where a man named Pete Lowe was, and Chung said he's in the cellar. So Brown went down there, and Chung followed him down into the cellar. He sprung at Brown with a butcher knife
Wow.
in each hand.
Wow.
It said Brown managed to escape up the stairs. He grabbed an axe and, quote, desired to descend to kill him, but was persuaded by the miners to go to town and make a complaint to have him arrested on a charge of insanity, which he did. Coming back, he has the sheriff, his name is Sheriff Stevens, and then Constable Sinclair with him. They went and found Chung still in the cellar, brandishing his knives and refusing to come out. At this point, they make it seem like he is literally just wildly wielding these butcher knives and
It makes me
just.
think of Roberto.
Yes! Yes! That's exactly what I thought of. They tried to persuade him to give up, and he refused, saying that those who were against him would hang him if he did. Basically, he was like, I'm either going to die here or they're going to kill me.
Who's after him? What?
Basically, he's saying that, like, he attacked Brown, and at this point, there were a couple other people that had come back with Brown and the sheriffs and the constable. He's saying that if I give up, you guys are just going to hang me anyway,
O-
which is probably correct.
Okay. But
It was,
okay.
yeah. It was mentioned, quote, the floor was torn up and a rope thrown upon him, which he cut several times. I don't know what it means by the floor was torn up.
He just like
I don't, like, is he
stabbed the
stabbing the
floor?
floor?
Like,
I don't
was
know.
there like a hidden like room under there?
I don't know.
A
I have
cellar
no
to the
idea.
cellar? Like,
A cellar in the cellar. It's
I
cellarception.
oh.
The sheriff fired at the knives twice to try to disarm him, and it didn't work. So a man named John Catalow, who had come with them for some reason, and the constable go down into the cellar. Catalow has a club with him, and Constable has a pistol. Constable ended up. Oh, and they mention at this point that that Chung had thrown a white sheet over himself. So he's got these butcher
Okay.
knives. He's still
He
wildly wielding these butcher knives, but now he's wearing a white sheet like a ghost.
it I for once don't have words. Like I don't
This is wild.
what?
Like,
It
I
seems like someone at the tidal wave was on an acid trip or something.
I
Like, what
guess.
the fuck?
So he's still wildly wielding these butcher knives. The constable ends up shooting him in the left thigh, manages to hit an artery. He bleeds out and dies a couple minutes later.
Ugh.
The jury was called to determine if this was a lawful killing or not, and they found, quote, we the jury find that the deceased was named Ah Young Chung, or Chung, it depends on, spelled two different ways, was a native of the district of Canton, China, aged about 40 years, that he came to his death by a pistol shot wound on the 30th day of May 1869 in Owyhee County, IT, the pistol being in the hands of A.J. Sinclair, constable of said county, while legally discharging his duties as an officer. We further find that the deceased was committing a felony in resisting the officers of the law with deadly weapons, and the act of said Sinclair was fully justifiable. Basically, they were like, this man was crazy and he did shit that got him
I
shot.
I feel like I need more information.
That was all the information, Whitney. That
Like,
was it.
like why why did they go in the cellar again? They were looking for someone.
They were
Why?
looking for a man named Pete Lowe.
And there's no information about Pete Lowe after this.
Nope.
Um,
That last Sinclair was fully justifiable, and then it listed the names of the people that were on the jury, and that was the end of the article.
alright,
Yep.
okay.
And then I did another search trying to find more info on it. Just that article.
Huh.
So yeah.
Okay.
It was
Interesting.
a weird happenstance kind of thing that I came upon. All right.
Hmm.
So the next weird thing that happened here, I say weird thing. Odie Brumbow, no, Brumbow, it's hard to say. His name was misspelled in just about every website I found. It was only after getting on ancestry.com and doing a search that I found out they spelled it Broombow, so Broom. It's actually Brum bow. He was the first owner of the Idaho Hotel, and they said that he committed suicide in the south salon of the hotel because he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. I almost said patriotic
Patriotic
cancer.
cancer. I mean, for some, yeah, that's a problem. Okay.
Pancreatic cancer. Now, I could not find an obituary for him, period. Did not matter. Could not find one. I looked on
Even
newspapers.com. I searched.
ancestry?
Nope. I mean, Ancestry did. They said that they had a death date, but I couldn't look anything up without paying like $600 for a
Huh.
subscription for it. So
Weird.
he lived in room 27 of the Idaho Hotel, and it's supposedly he still lingers there. And of course, because this is a mine thing, you would have the mine related fatalities, cave ins, fires, all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
This gets us to the place that I originally wanted to look into that kind of brought us to Silver City, which was the Idaho Hotel in Silver City.
Okay.
Now, this hotel was originally built in a totally different city. It was built in Ruby City, Idaho in 1863, which was the original seat of Owyhee County. And then it was dismantled and moved to Silver City in 1866 because they basically were like, well, it'll do better in Silver City because they don't have a hotel. They need a hotel. We'll just move it. Now, this meant that it had to be moved piece by piece up snow covered roads by oxen at the time, and then it was reassembled in its current location with additional wings built on after that. And it was noted that the three-story wing was completed in time for the Christmas Eve ball in
Oh,
1866.
how wonderful.
It was delightful.
But also, like, why didn't they just build a new hotel?
I have
I
no
feel
idea.
like that took more effort
Agreed.
and like you just okay.
Just, yep, I have no idea. In 1868, they had spring water piped into the hotel. I just said water really weird. Spring
Mhm.
water
Yeah.
piped into the hotel. Water. They also added a bar and a piazza in 1871. Now, I had to look up what a piazza was because my fat ass said pizza. No,
No.
piazza. It's either a public square or
Yeah.
marketplace or a veranda of a house. My
Yeah.
guess is that it was a veranda.
Yeah.
I had Okay, so you're looking at me like I should have known what this was.
I'm not looking at you like that. It's just like when I went to Italy, like you would go walk on the piazza. Like
Oh,
that's
okay.
what you would do after dinner is you go walk on the piazza. It was either a veranda or it was a central
A
square
square.
where everyone would go
Okay.
walk. So that's
Interesting.
why I was like, yeah, piazza. And then you were explained it. And I was like, but I knew
Well,
this.
for those of us who have not been to Italy,
And
um,
whose fucking fault is that?
shut up.
Okay.
It's actually, they noted in, I went to like dictionary.com or something like that for this. We use that term antiquatedly in US. That's why I assumed it was a veranda. They also built a kitchen in the basement, and they also had, and I looked for this, I looked for a picture of this, the costliest and handsomest mirror ever brought to Silver City, installed in the bar in 1874. I can't find a damn picture of this mirror.
Was there an evil queen that went with it? Like,
No, so I think there was a video I was watching of Idaho 6 News that they had somebody come out and like do a story about the hauntings and stuff like that, and they mentioned that if you take pictures of this mirror, you get apparitions behind you if you take, so the lady was taking pictures of the mirror, and I think that was the mirror she was talking about. I can always post a picture on the Instagram or something like that for it.
I feel
But
like you can say that about any mirror,
right,
though. Like,
I've got a
I know
mirror that
there's
cost me $160 over here.
one mirror in particular, and I don't remember, like, what house it is or something, but, like, they claim that that one in particular is a portal.
It's in the Myrtles.
Okay. Yes.
I only know
Yeah.
that because I'm researching it. So,
Hey. Yeah.
hey.
So but, like, I don't know. I just
But that's
I
constant.
it's
Taking pictures of mirrors is already said to be a bad thing because you're contacting a portal, and then seeing things behind you in mirrors, that's constant. Like, I don't know how many of the Middle Eastern ghost hunters I've watched that they will focus on a mirror with their camera and you'll see somebody behind them. Like, that's just a thing.
I for a second thought you were gonna say how many times I have looked in the mirror and seen something, and I was
I
like,
would never
"Taylor,
look in a
you
mirror
are
again.
way too calm about that." That is, like, very, like, Bloody Mary kind of thing, and
Yeah.
I you're really calm,
No, I
and I'm
really
also
don't.
never coming over again.
I don't like looking in mirrors or windows. I don't like looking at my own reflection because
I
I'm
don't
terrified
I
something will
don't
be behind
mind
it.
mirrors and windows. I don't really like them when it's dark. Whenever like, it looks like the void, like,
Mhm.
that's whenever I'm kind of like, "Ugh."
See, I get weird feelings whenever I pass by a mirror. I'll get the feeling that I should not look at it,
Hmm, that's interesting.
which is weird. And I like my mirror that hangs in my bedroom, you know which one it is that's over my desk. That one, I can walk past that hundreds of times. And then one time I'll walk past it and be like, you should not look in that mirror right now.
Huh.
And I don't know why. So, yay!
The only time I do
Whitney's like,
that
I'm
is
never coming
whenever
over.
no, the only time I do that is whenever I'm like, "You look like fugly ass shit today.
Oh,
Don't look at yourself." That's the only
no,
time I would do that.
mine's like, if you look in that mirror right now, you're gonna see something that you can't unsee. And
Hmm,
yeah, so
hmm,
ugh, it gets, like, it makes my stomach turn.
ugh,
Just even talking about it, like, ugh.
interesting.
The Idaho Hotel is supposedly the most haunted place in Silver City, but I mean, it's a ghost town. It's a mining facility. It's lots of places. But it has several specific entities that they see. And the first one is named Screamin' Alice.
Whoa, okay. I thought it was gonna be the lady in white or gray or black or blue. Nope, screaming oh, I are there 5 of them? Okay, that's
There's
fine.
not, but so Alice is white. She
Shocking.
wears a white dress.
Of course.
She was supposedly a prostitute in the late 19th century, and I saw a couple of different ways that she possibly died.
Mhm.
And technically these could go together, but they say that she possibly met a tragic end at the hands of a jealous lover or a violent encounter with a client. Uh, but the owners say that she was pushed down the stairs. Now, this could have been by a client or a lover or something like that, but
Yeah,
that's what they're sticking with. So she is dressed in period clothing for the late 19th century, or I'm sorry, late 19th century. I was like, that doesn't work out. Yeah. And it's typically a white dress. She
of course.
appears and disappears suddenly and is known for her eerie and unsettling presence. Why can't I talk today?
Pleasance? The pleasance. What's wrong with you?
Woo, love. Yeah.
The
So
pleasance.
she's known for her eerie and unsettling presence, which includes blood curdling screams that echo through the hotel because she wouldn't be named Screamin' Alice if she wasn't screaming.
Nah, I wouldn't think so.
So these are filled with anguish and despair. She's also associated with sudden drops in temperature where she's thought to manifest in rooms and hallways. You can also hear whispers and faint conversation coming from nowhere in the dead of night, and she is attributed to moving things and knocking things over.
You just made me think of it. In the dark of the night, people will
People will
find
find
her.
her.
Find
Ooh,
her.
ooh, ooh.
Anyways.
Watch Anastasia, you guys. The next one is the man in the tux. And there's two things that he could
You
possibly
know,
be.
so I used to say that, like, scientists were not creative. And
Oh,
I'm thinking that ghost hunters are also not creative. I mean,
we,
Screamin' Alice is pretty creative, but, like, the man in the tux,
mhm,
ok okay. I assume he wears a tux.
he does. Good
What?
job.
Oh my god. Crazy.
So they think he could have been a wealthy businessman or a prominent figure in town. They say he could possibly be Odie Blumbaugh. So maybe the guy that killed himself in the hotel, the original owner.
Or is he the
Or
one that pushed Alice down the stairs.
I don't know. So when you think about it that way, Alice died before Blumbaut died because Blumbaut died in 1926. Alice was around before that.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
there. I'm just saying, we
I
don't
know.
know who it is.
I know.
Okay.
They also say he could be a groom waiting for his bride to arrive, and she never
Of
came.
course.
Just
There it
classic.
is.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure
he
the
is
bride is haunting one of the saloons down the street, right?
actually no.
Oh,
Nothing
okay.
about a bride is mentioned here. So,
Wow. Okay.
uh, he is dressed impeccably in a formal tux, which contrasts the mining town. It's full tails and bow tie. He is seen in various parts of the hotel, including the lobby, the hallways, foot of the bed, and guest rooms.
What? No, that got too specific. It's just like he's in the hall. He's next to me. Like that's not. That got too much.
When I was reading through this particular source, I was like, "Well, that went from 0 to
Yeah,
100 real
like
quick."
shit. That escalated quick.
So
Damn.
he, like Alice, appears and disappears very quickly. He is seen as a calm and somewhat comforting presence. He doesn't like to
Not
interact with
not at
people.
the foot of my bed.
Foot of my bed. He just
No.
observes. He likes to observe people, which, in
Get the
fairness,
fuck out.
they said that he's a comforting feeling. Like whenever you see him observing you, you're not creeped out. You're like, "Oh, hey there." I don't know though.
I
If I woke
I
up at
don't
midnight and there was a dude standing at the end of my bed, I'd be creeped out.
yeah, I don't think I would be like, "Oh, it's just Gary. Go to sleep." Like,
Scary.
I don't think I would feel that way. I would be like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?" And then he'd
Yeah.
disappear, and then I wouldn't be able to sleep, and I would hear girlish screams from down the hall. It's not
100%.
screaming Alice, it's you.
It's me. I like that we both went there. So
Yeah.
they often hear faint music playing, like a distant waltz or ballroom dancing. They think it's attributed to him because of the tux.
I'm just the music.
Uh-huh.
LaSalle.
You're
Like,
having
I just
LaSalle
can't.
flashbacks.
Flashbacks. Fuck.
Yeah.
In the bathroom of all places. Okay.
So there are also, because no haunting would be complete without mischievous children. These
Well,
children are
Kim,
seen.
it could be complete. We don't need it. It's not
But
necessary. It's not a
it's the
requirement.
icing. It's icing on the cake.
Oh
And we've
god.
still got 2 more entities after this, Whitney. Children seen in period clothing from the late 19th and early 20th centuries. They are seen running through the corridors and playing in different parts of the hotels or of the hotel. They're often seen in groups and they are giggling and laughing in the hallways. It's always lighthearted and playful, though. It's not
Why
like
are they
you
in
don't get a
groups?
menacing.
I feel like that's weird. Like that's
Agreed.
they like even normal ghosts that aren't normally in groups. So
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like there's something different going on,
Yeah. So
lighthearted or not.
they're said to possibly be the kids of the hotel staff or the miners who stayed there. They're known for making belongings move or toys appearing out of nowhere in people's rooms.
Stop.
Yeah.
So
Doors.
I'm gonna wake up and there's a random fucking teddy bear and a man in a
Uh,
tuxedo. Like, no,
uh,
I'm not doing that.
the doors open and close on their own, and the children are not seen as threatening. They evoke a sense of warmth and nostalgia, according to those that have seen them. I don't know. Ghost children always hit me rough. So
Okay, the way that they describe the feelings that you get with this, like one of them calms you and one of them makes you think of your own childhood, I guess. Like, well, it's weird.
everybody but Screaming Alice is this way.
That's
I don't
weird.
know why. I don't know why. It's very strange. I thought it was very weird that everybody seems to be super chill and just. But whenever you think about it, these last two, I think it's because they're residual. They're not actually intelligent haunts. So that
Which
would make sense
which
why
two? The tuxedo and the kids? No.
the two that are coming.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got 2 more. So the next one is the miner. This is a rugged man dressed in traditional mining attire because, again, we're not creative people. Overalls, boots, mining hat. He's typically covered in dust or he's holding a lantern or something. He's frequently seen in the bar area or in the halls leading to and from the area. He's seen elsewhere as well, but most people see him in the bar. He is
Elsewhere within the hotel.
within the hotel, yes. He is quiet and contemplative, and he doesn't interact with the living much. He's sitting quietly or walking slowly. They said like he's reminiscing about the past. Honestly, that gives residual haunting vibes to me. So,
Yeah, but it's weird that he like, I feel not that he can't be residual, it's just weird that the residual part would be above ground, if that makes sense?
no,
Like,
I get you.
everything that he's doing sounds like he would be doing in a mine,
Yeah,
so it's weird that it would be up and 5
but
feet over.
if you're talking about, because the hotel was where miners stayed if they weren't staying in their own house or in the mining
Okay.
bunks that they had. So if it is purely just their energy, there were so many miners that stayed there that maybe their energy manifested into this one residual entity kind of thing.
Okay. I could see
Uh,
that.
they hear heavy footsteps and the clinking of miners' tools whenever he's around. The next one is the lady in blue.
Ah, fucking come on.
Yeah. So this is an elegant woman dressed in a long, flowing blue gown from the late 19th or early 20th centuries. It is elaborate, which means that she was probably from status or wealth. Uh,
Fancy.
she, she fancy. She moves silently through the hotel's corridors and rooms, mostly the upper floors and staircases. She is said to be beautiful, and she's typically seen from a distance and then disappears when you approach her. She is seen as a calm and serene presence. She does not interact with humans. She doesn't acknowledge humans, so that tells me residual again. But she invokes a sense of calm or a gentle presence when she's near, and people will occasionally report a faint, pleasant smelling perfume after she's appeared.
Hmm.
So, let's get into the
Okay.
paranormal investigations here. Now, the owners, Roger and Jerry, they took over and have been restoring it. So the hotel originally was taken over by a man named Ed that was trying to restore it, and then he passed away before he was able to finish restoring it, and then Jerry and Roger took over afterwards to continue restoring it. So Jerry says that they see orbs for the most part moving up and down the halls, like orbs moving in the opposite direction that the wind is blowing.
Mhm.
So she was like, yeah, and I was like, you know how we feel about orbs.
Yeah.
Um, but for the most part, she doesn't really believe in ghosts, which is
Okay.
interesting, or at least that's what she says in this interview that I watched. Now, one investigation that I watched, honestly, this is from Haunted Highway in 2013. They investigated the whole town. So they had cameras in the Masons Lodge, the hotel, and out on the street. This was dramatic as fuck for no reason. It just,
Were they, like, channeling ghost adventures, maybe?
yes, like it was just two people. I think it was Jail and JL, like, I guess, and Devin. And I guess this was an actual series. They had two seasons in 2013
Hmm.
that they went out to places and never heard of him before. But like this guy, and maybe this is just how he is, but he was very breathy. It sounded like he had been running a marathon, and just everything that he did was very like, okay, are you ready? Let's go. Let's get this done. Like, you know, how we are whenever we go somewhere, we're like, we going over there now? I guess so. Like, you know,
Yeah,
the,
we'll find out.
there was just this sense of urgency with everything both of them did. And I
Well,
was like, "Mm, you
maybe
need to calm down a
maybe
little
they
bit."
were, like, on a time constraint or something,
Maybe.
and so
Yeah,
they're
I don't
like, "Okay,
know.
we gotta fucking do this." Like, "Ah!"
Yeah. I'm breaking this up into, they start together in the hotel and then they split apart where Devin stays in the hotel and then Jael moves into the Mason's Lodge. Or at least I think that's their names. I may be assuming that's somebody's name, but that's what I'm anticipating. The hotel, they catch footsteps walking on the floor above them while they're in the basement. And it starts very slow and creaky. Then it gets really fast, like somebody's walking really quick above them. And then it starts to go down the stairs. And Devin goes around the corner and there's nobody there.
Mm.
Again, taking it for face value and not assuming that they are faking something. That's interesting. They hear something coming. They find an abandoned mine shaft in the basement, which I immediately was like, "Fuck no!" Um, they got an
Okay.
Yeah, they got an EMF reading of 1.9 to 2.0 milligauss, and he made that seem like that was impressive. And I was like, my dude, we got ours up to 120 on our last investigation.
Mhm. Only
So
because we, I was like,
asked you
"Don't get
to.
me wrong, we challenged them, right?" Or
Yeah, because
not quite challenged, but
we said this thing has never gone above 115 before, and then it jumped to 117 and it jumped to 120.
yeah.
So yeah. So I don't he was very impressed with that 1.9 to 2.0. So maybe that's just the highest they've ever got.
I mean,
I don't know.
if theirs is normally 0, then
That's true. Ours goes off the charts. I don't know. Maybe that's us. Maybe we're the problem. I don't know.
am I the drama? I
Am
don't
I
think I'm the drama.
the drama?
Maybe I'm the drama.
So this was the drama. They heard a man laughing from down the shaft a couple of times. There was a
Shafted
very
again.
there was a very
I
clear male laugh that echoed down the thing. So again, assuming they're not faking something, that is
don't like it.
creepy. Yeah. Uh Devin, so once they split apart, Devin stays in the hotel. He got a door opening on its own twice, and it's like one of those you have to turn the doorknob in order to get the latch to move. You can't
Uh-huh.
just pull it open. So once was whenever he was nearby, the other was whenever he was pretty far away from it. Of course, it was cut in a way that you can't see if
Mm,
somebody was inside before. So
yeah. That's a
again,
little
take this with a grain of salt kind of thing. He caught a candle holder moving on the wall. You can hear the thing moving, but you can't see it. Again, a
okay.
lot of these things were very like it would be very easy to fake a lot of what was
It's
going on here.
it's one of those, like, I would have to go and witness
Yes.
it myself.
Yes, exactly. Playing, or what do I want to say? Giving them the benefit of the doubt that they are not faking anything. They got some serious stuff. Uh, they did, or did an EVP in the Civil War surgeon's room. That I was like, apparently a Civil War surgeon died here. I didn't come up with
In
that in my
in
research
the hotel?
in the hotel. I didn't nothing
Okay.
about that in my research, but he said that I guess Roger or Jerry told him that, and I was like, okay. He got no EVPs in there. In the Mason's Lodge, whenever Jael goes over there, she sees a dinner bell, which is literally just a triangle on a string that you can, you know, hit for dinner. That was swinging back and forth on its own, and there was no breeze to do
Mhm.
that. She decides to do EVP in what she calls an isolation room. Basically, there was a closet, and then there is a door or a hatch that you can swing up that opens up a square space in the bottom of the closet. And then you can crawl into that, and there's a separate room.
Hmm.
So she walks in there and she props the hatch up and then starts doing EVP. Well, at one point, she asks if they want her to leave, and the hatch slams shut. Now, this door swings up and down in order to open and close. That very well could have been it just happened to fall right at that moment, and
Yeah.
gravity was the reason. But again, that's just me not
Yeah.
knowing these people and not knowing, this investigation. Yeah, it turns out, Whitney,
Yes, Taylor.
there are so many silver cities in the US, and there is another Silver City ghost town in California.
Okay.
And that, whenever I did my initial, like, yes, all of the hauntings and stuff like that, I did an initial search of Silver City ghost town because I assumed there was only one paranormal investigation videos. The ones from California were the ones that popped up. This was the only one I could find for the one in Idaho. My plan is we're going to do a Silver City Ghost Town part deux, where we're going to go to the one in California and see what's going on over there in the next
Okay.
episode.
My guess, I'm guessing. It's the same. Not that it's the same as far as
It's
everything, but it's going to be a mining town
that
that
found
had shit
silver.
that found silver, was called Silver City, and I bet that there's a hotel and it's fucking haunted. But I bet
Probably.
that hotel was not piecemealed from a other hotel that lived in a different
Yeah,
city. If that's
that's legit.
true, then California needs to realize that Idaho did it first and they did it worst.
I kissed her first and you kissed her worse.
Yeah.
So, but this did beg the question from me, what the fuck is up with places called Silver City becoming ghost towns? So, the one in New Mexico is not a ghost town though.
No.
But if it purely was run on mining energy, then mining eventually
Yeah.
shuts down. You're going to have a ghost town. That wraps up our little venture into Silver City, Idaho. Next
Mhm.
time, we're going to be going to Silver City Ghost Town in California. And
Oh.
hopefully, and then I'll see just for funsies if there's something haunted in Silver City, New Mexico. We'll just hit all the Silver
I'm
Cities.
sure there is.
I'm sure there
I'm
is.
sure if you typed in Silver City hauntings and
We'll
just
have,
all it's a Silver City, like,
yeah, it's a series. It's a mini
yeah,
series, just all the Silver Cities.
the Silver
So,
Cities.
so yeah,
Well, alrighty. It
that was
sounds
some
like we need
interesting
to put Silver City, Idaho on our list for some time in the warmer winter months.
in warmer winter months.
Yes.
Here in Texas, that's literally November. So
It's it's literally right now.
it's right now.
Right
This
fucking
is
now. Goddamn
this
100
legit.
degrees. Like, it's 95 degrees when you walk out at 6 a.m.
Mhm.
Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
watch says it's 92 right now, but I can guarantee you if I went outside, it would be 97 or 98.
Helter swelter.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just like walking into a sauna, like a
Mhm.
steam oven. There's no, it's just disgusting.
I'm greatly enjoying the people that are currently like that lived in Texas their entire lives being like, so hey, all you new Texans,
How's
uh,
it going?
just letting you know, we're just preheating.
Yeah, it's gonna get so much
It's
fucking
gonna be
worse.
so bad, you
Like,
guys.
God. Just
We've
gonna be
been pretty,
terrible.
that being said, it has been pretty mild so far. We've gotten a lot of rain that's cooled a bunch of things down, but I think the rain is done for the foreseeable future. So it's going to get bad pretty quick.
Yeah. Everything's
So,
already really crunchy.
my grass, oddly enough, is not crunchy. I don't know why.
Even the grass that doesn't look crunchy is crunchy.
Oh,
It's just fucking hot.
yeah, it is. It's hot.
So,
My
yeah.
the bees in my backyard have started. I started refilling the bird bath so that they can drink from it. So
That's good. That's
yeah,
nice.
you save the bees, you guys.
I
So
don't think they're endangered anymore, just by the way.
really,
I feel like I saw that a while back. I
hang
mean,
on.
still, like, be nice to the bees because, like, we kind of need them to live and survive, but I feel like they have been preserved enough that we're not in danger.
Honeybees are not threatened and are not endangered. Is what the Xerxes Society for Invertebrate Conservation says.
Wow. Okay.
It says the rusty patched bumblebee is the only native bee in the continental US that is protected under the Endangered Species Act.
The
So,
rusty patch bumblebee?
yes.
What?
Yeah.
Also, if you guys didn't know, honey comes from them throwing up a million times into each other's mouth.
Thanks, Whitney.
You're welcome.
What? This guy's name is Bombus affinis.
That's my nickname in high school.
Oh no. Anyway, while Whitney dies, we hope that you keep listening.
And we will spook you bitches later and hopefully with less coughing.
Yes, speak you later, bitches, for the next installment of our Silver City road trip.
Wow.
Wow. Goodbye.
Bye.